Hey fellas, Nikk here. You see, I don't know why, but garbage always seems to follow me around. You see, Yash Future Tech Studios, Call of Duty Ghosts, the player base in Rec Room. I don't know, it's just a thing that keeps on happening to me, so I don't know why Bordy keeps on coming back. I mean, it's perfect. For example, I type out Racing Bros. I don't know how he does it. He just does it. Racing Bros is a game by 4 gladiators, and can you believe it? It's a game about racing. I mean, I don't know how much more you can fail. I mean, I've played Super Kids Racing, and that was as Super Kids Racing gets. You know, there is a lot of PlayStation 4 users who live the bargain bin life. Before this wind ruins my audio, maybe we should go on the indoor insides to talk about the video, and hopefully it won't be 17 minutes long this time. I have to set some perspective on what I'm about to say. I have played lots of shit on the PS4. Games are free or paid, and they'll still be pretty f***ing dreadful. Batman 3 slaps my childhood in the face. Ghost is a mass hellflame. The Division. This game blows. But some are just bad and just pull the, hey, I'm actually a real developer, I'm serious, I just made this as a joke card. And you laugh a little, but it's nice to play a dance game with the DualShock's motion controls, but we'll talk about that later. Sometimes with these games, you think you found something incredible, and then realize this is the Hangman game on the Actico Partner 400. Happens all the time. So, tallying it up, I've played garbage and lots of them. So when I go to the PlayStation Store and cry that I don't have any funds to buy anything, so I stumble over to free-to-play and see one of my old MS Paint drawings from 2014. Yeah, this is the game icon, and it's an icon. That's all we can say about it. But, yeah, it's designed, alright. Can't wait to see how the HUD goes with this kind of design. Gather your friends and get ready for a goofy and fun 4-player racing experience for almost all ages. What is almost all ages when you have an E for everyone reading? This is the same situation with the LEGO sets where you can't play with them if you're a 3-year-old, or if you're 100, choose between different modes and skills to challenge your friends, parents, and the neighbor next door. This game also has a fun online presence. The devs will comment on those videos made on it, and one of their thank you posts for the constructive critiques on Facebook shows only comments that are calling the game complete shit. I love these guys. Hi, it's me, post-editing Nikk. So, they updated the game. It added 2 cops and robbers maps, 1 regular map, and a new downhill map that you can play in single player. Basically, it deters what I was going to talk about earlier. So, you know, it's fun. I'll be bringing my input on things as we go along. Let's cut back to regular Nikk. First off, you have to press the individual buttons instead of controlling with thumbstick. You can control the Ectico with a D-pad. Can't say that about Racing Bros, can you? Also, this menu is like a 3D model running with real-time shadows, interacting with this real-time snow. And the other main menus use 3D models, and the loading screen with every map uses a 3D model. Okay. The only thing that uses images only are all the sub-menus. The credits, controls, mode select. And before anybody argues that these are 3D models, the sub-menus load instantly, which means that they either loaded into the player selection loading or not. And that means that even then, these were models, then you can see the mode selection and it has your car color, and you can move the analog stick in the car turn as long as the turbo and the reverse and forward button, they all work, except for jump, which you can't tell. But other than that, in the loading screen that we confirmed, it means that technically, yes, these are PNGs, so you can't prove me wrong. I thought too much in for a game called Racing Bros. I don't care anymore. Why not? Let's go over the controls. Reverse and forwards, a turbo button, and jump. I wonder how the meeting went for adding the jump button. Alright boys, we have no clue if this car's gonna sell or not. How do we make it look unique? Ooh, I know! Add a f***ing jump button. Credits include a scripter, a car physics scripter, a UI designer, an asset designer, musician, and beta testers. I don't like that they credit them as for the free songs, but I'll give them a benefit of the doubt. Also, they changed this menu to a bunch of PNGs for some reason, but there's tires that fall over the menu, which feels like a change, but it's more of a character selection screen now, besides cars staring you down, but alright. Let's get into every mode. First off, the one-player modes. One-player maps and multiplayer maps have slight changes, all have shortcuts, and one player has no selection. Just 4 mods and then the game's all tough shit, man. Get some friends to play 90% of the content. But I'll get to that later. The first map, generic desert. Already you can see some pretty glaring flaws. The 3, 2, 1 go countdown doesn't mean anything. Hell, you and the AI encourage themselves to go before the race starts. Camera controls are on a locked following position, which means that sometimes zero UI, which again was listening to credits that somebody did. Racing UI, oh shut up! I mean, what UI did you design? The stock image that says winner? Who won? The black car or the black car? Turning is barely encouraged because the physics literally do not care about existing. The fun comes from crashing into lots of things stacked atop one another. Tires all over the map, okay. That's cool. The game's sound design is like a microwave, quiet as hell before. This song is actually from the rock radio on Farming Simulator 2019, what? Invisible walls are in the weirdest areas sometimes, and other times entire trees are a f***ing mirage. Okay, whatever, let's move, wait. I can just turn around and drive into this discreet corner which lets me drive into the finish line because there's no checkpoint system. Alright. Next up, Jungle Castle Medieval Pirate Again, reverse into a corner to insta-win. This one's more fun to play simply because of how much wider it is, and this fun shortcut here though, so you skip over everyone for like 12 seconds. Or here where I cut through the straightaway section and flung myself into the air, which was fun. Again, destructible environmental is this game's shtick. Nothing else ever happens that's remotely interesting, like, okay, cool, a flying box, haha, and then it's back to reality 2000 a few seconds later. Overall, still a pretty good map. Lastly, holy sh**, that's bright. The devs probably figured out the concept of bloom and brightness and shoved it into this level like tenfold, but by accident, instead of braking, I hit L1, and that's an option that, according to the pause menu, resets the game back to the title screen, so I didn't get any other footage. But there's a Racing Madness mode that consists of the same game with more Mafia. Also, they added like another desert map in the update. All the boulders are much heavier and controls like a little better than normal. Then there's a fire truck mode. And you're driving against a cliffside, it's okay. And in the downhill mode, I broke the sound barrier. 2-player modes start out with regular Mafia The versus mode in this area has a big ramp at the start now. I smell pointless. Cops versus robbers. So the only maps there is one original one that's really good, and then the rest are reusing the snow and desert world. In the update, they added the jungle and new maps into cops and robbers. Please f***ing care. Please f***ing care. 3-player has the least modes. There's versus mode and cops and robbers, and nothing changed from the 2-player modes besides there's a big boy down here. 4-player includes truck mode. That's it. Downhill with trucks. This is so much fun, and I wish it was in single truck racing. At least the cars don't flip every other minute. Future racing, cool concept, but it groups into the same area as downhill truck racing had. Truck soccer. This is so hard to play without anybody contesting me. Do you know how abysmal this would be, oh friends?
What friends saw a haja ha 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 haja hajajas and say saws ya haj sasaj sig snasa say sajasish howza ois jajas sauces jashazuish aj sasaz gossage says asaj quasage jk simpsons ya jj some kutak.
Okay, I did it. I beat the game. That was pretty fun. Too bad the game is full of glaring f***ing oversights. Also, I'm not including any of the complaints that I had that got changed with the patch, but yeah, some are still here and they're pretty big. Firstly, no UI. Could you tell us how much turbo I have, what placement I'm in, a mini-map maybe even my speed? Give us something. Secondly, no finite selection. I could play future racing in single player with the AI, or just be able to play truck soccer, downhill racing, cops and robbers. These should be so much fun in single player. Hell, Online is a stretch, but imagine if you could. This would be so much fun. Third, what the are these menus? Do they only have the ability to make menus without the control stick? This menu layout is not good. And if you say, well, Nick, the thumbstick might not be mappable because it's not a button in the made for Unity world. Well, what about the D-pad controls, man? The Nectical Warner 400 came out in 2002 and they did it right. Lastly, there's no variation maps at all. Close off the areas you can play in for cops and robbers. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe route would be so much fun because these maps at least have some ideas. Take the Future Racing map, add a bunch of big buildings you could ride around for some high ground, and there will be some fun to have. But once again, too bad I can't select it from the menu. Overall, what was this game? Really, what was it? What was the point of making this? This honestly does feel like it was just made as a joke because you can see For Gladiator Studios. If you could see all of their comments in one page, I can guarantee you that all of them are just the same thing saying, oh yeah, we love your feedback on most games that are talking shit about this game. Like, I'm not sure how you're supposed to feel. Like, oh yeah, thank you. I know you just called our work garbage, but thank you. Thank you so much. And unlike Super Kids Racing, you can't even go a single moment without turning so damn hard that I feel like the brake button should be used more than the actual driving button. I don't get this. And then on top of that, when there's a speed run showing off all these shortcuts in 2 of the levels, for some reason they said, they go out and they say, oh yeah, thank you so much for finding all of our cute little secrets, and it comes off as they didn't know that they had overlooked these things and they just kept them in instead of patching them out and saying, no, those are glitches, thank you for informing us about that. No. Overall, I don't understand what they mean by the beta testers and the car physics man, because both of these two things don't actually exist, okay? I am surprised that this was actually made by humans. This might as well have been Austin McConaughey's AI-generated story, but in a video game, because God, none of this makes sense. Why is half of the good content locked behind one mission that I can only play once? I hate this game, but in some aspects, I genuinely think that it's okay. If the main cars that you had while you were racing had actual weight and didn't flip over every single time they took a tiny speed bump, then I would be at least somewhat okay with it, but most of the time, it's mashed up against cars that have so much damn weight, flipping them over is just a laughingstock. Meanwhile, future racing, I can understand. I mean, yeah, it's futuristic racing, you know, it's like, oh, it's hovering, they knock over easily, haha, hoverboard stuff. But instead, we get the same thing, you know, for the regular cars. If this happened in real life with these kind of cars, like, you need a heavy grade SWAT police car or a truck, then there would be, like, car accidents would go up tenfold. So overall, I'm gonna give you a what the Alright, you know what? I give up. I'm out of here. Control, Alt, Delete.